We all want to find out, what's our purpose in life? How can we lead more meaningful lives? I think for many of us, this is a spiritual quest. Now, there's a writer, his name is Gerald May, a spiritual writer. He has this concept that all of us are created with this spaciousness inside of us. We think of it like an emptiness. And we all have this yearning for something more. We have this longing to be filled. Unfortunately, what happens is many times we don't know what's going to fill us. So we start looking at other things, saying like, well, if I just work harder, or if I would make more money, or if I'd be more popular in school. Or sometimes we start adding some destructive things, like thinking like, well, maybe this eating more food, or if I exercise more, or even like gambling, or pornography, or alcohol. Because many of us, we have this longing. I want to be filled. Well, the theory is that spaciousness we have, and I believe this, that spaciousness can only be filled by God. That God purposely created every one of us with this openness or this spaciousness so that God could come and fill it. Nothing else. Well, a few years ago, I wrote a song about that concept. I actually asked Kevin to help me with that this morning. It's called Longings. I am longing for your words, whispering peace. I am longing for your voice, singing my release. You are holy sigh as my wounds are made whole. You are breath of life, whose voice is my soul. Your voice is my soul. In the Gospel, Jesus talks about a woman who has a longing. She wants this decision rendered. And if you remember, this woman, she's a widow. And back in the time of Jesus, widows did not have a voice. They couldn't speak up. No one would listen to them. But indeed, Jesus says, like that unjust judge who answers her, boy, how much more will God answer us? The problem with it is that many times when we ask God for something, we are just so specific. God, I need it to work out exactly like this, or I need this situation to turn out exactly as I want it to. Instead of opening ourselves to God's will, praying to say, God, may you fill me up as you want, which sometimes may not be as we want, but it's opening ourselves up to a closeness for God as we search. I am searching for your light, a bush unburnt. I am searching for your grace as gift not earned. You are day when night all around me descends. You are healing dawn for my darkness to end. For my darkness to end. God is in control, not us. Often our frustrations come when we think God doesn't answer, or God's not listening. But the purpose of prayer, and let me say this clearly, the purpose of prayer is not to change God, but to change us. Let me say that again. The purpose of prayer is not to change God, but to change us. That we can start thinking, God, your will be done. Here's what I want, but I want to be open to whatever you want. May you fill me with your grace. Many times we're too limited in our prayers. For example, when we think of praying for life issues. Many times what happens, we just focus in on one life issue. As Catholics, we are pro-life. But that just doesn't mean one issue. It's not that we're just against abortion, but we're open to all life. Cardinal Joseph Bernardin, he was from Chicago, he died some years ago. He has a concept called the seamless garment, which means think of a big garment that has no seams in it. It's all one solid piece. And we think of life issues, it's one solid piece, womb to tomb. We can't just focus on one aspect. That's not our calling as Catholics or as Christians. For example, we cannot focus just on anti-abortion rules and then support the death penalty. That's just not consistent. We can't say that we are loving and yet that we can hate those kind of people. We can't say that we believe in peace and work for peace and then ignore the injustices done all over the world to different people, or stereotype a group of people, and declare that those kind of people are not welcome in our midst or in our country. It's tricky. There has never been a candidate, as we get close to the elections, there's never been a candidate, and there's never been a party, a political party, that completely embraces all of the life issues that we look at as Catholics. Never has been. I hope there will be someday. Life issues mean that we are invited to look womb to tomb, to look at abortion, health care, euthanasia, which is end-of-life issues, climate change, clean water for all people, sex trafficking, war. It can get overwhelming. Well, here at Christ Our Light, we want to help you. Excuse me, we want to help you with that. Next couple of weeks, we're going to have inserts in the bulletins from the U.S. Catholic bishops. They're not supporting any party or any candidate, but they want us to look at all the issues. The first Wednesday of November, we're having a speaker come in to talk to all of us, teenagers, parents, all the adults, just about how we should look at all these issues with the election coming up. What is our responsibility as faithful citizens? And then at the end of Mass today, we have an opportunity for you to learn more. The Minnesota Catholic bishops have emails that they'd like to send to those who'd like. Again, not endorsing anybody, but simply making us more aware of all the life issues before us. I'll say more about that at the end of Mass. I believe that all of us are longing to do the right thing. We have a searching. We're invited to trust that God will help us. Trust that God will guide us. Trust that God's will be here for us. We just have to ask. I am waiting for your touch, asking for dance, and I am waiting for your lead, giving me the chance. You're the one who holds all the falls of my shame. You with open arms, embracing my pain. Who embraces my pain? I am longing. I am longing. I am longing. Please stand.